Good evening, everyone. Today is 3/24/2013, about 9:55 at night. Pretty good day today. It was Sunday. Paula went to church with Isabel this morning. I hung out with Kyle, so that was really cool. He's grown so fast. That's insane. I just love hanging out with that kid. It's pretty amazing. I never thought having kids could be this awesome. So really fun. Then we went over to Mason and Laura's and had some dinner over there. So it was really good to see them. We hadn't been out and actually just like hung out with them in a long time, or with anyone really in a long time. So it's really good to kind of get back into it. I think me and Paula are kind of starting to get into a kind of a rhythm now. With the kids and everything like that, it's been kind of crazy, but thus is life. Adding a second kid in is pretty insane. So, but yeah, overall good. I had a comment from PKMCK. I'm just gonna read the whole thing. It's about enemas. So if you guys want to hear, great. If not, skip over like 2 minutes. I don't know. Said, hi, my doctor told me last year I need to take an enema often or regularly, is how he described it. And like you mentioned in a video recently, it's not uncomfortable. Since starting the therapy, I ran across a lot of folks, mostly guys like myself, who say they've they've had and don't mind enemas as much as they thought they would before taking them. Really helpful having your wife assist. Yeah, helpful is a good way to put it. She's a freaking champ for sure. That way it's easier to relax. Before taking a coffee enema, he had a couple questions. So before taking a coffee enema, do you wash out your colon with a bag of warm water? I no, I always just kind of went for it. Afterwards, it was kind of like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. I read up somewhere that I should do that with like the first one in the morning and stuff. But no, I haven't done it. I've actually kind of fallen off the bandwagon of enemas. Just I got out of the habit when I went to Sweden, and when I came back, we went straight to the hospital, and then just have kind of been, just more having just made a priority of it to get it back into my life. Haha, that was kind of a pun. Get it back in. But yeah, just yeah, it's been weird. I know I need to. I just gotta make I gotta not look at it in the negative light or forcing myself to or anything like that. I just need to do it and just gotta make the time to do it. So he said, have you tried different positions to take them in? No, I always just did it on my right hand side, and it worked out pretty well. For me, it seems doing it on my back works best, so it's great. I'll have to try that next time I do it. You take from red rubber bag with the hose. No, I don't. I use a bucket, and I got it from Amazon or something like that. So yeah, it was interesting for sure. He said, continue. I hope I hear back from you. Well, hello. Oh, it's Kenny. Hi, Kenny. Hello, Kenny. I like how you make your point come across in your videos you post. Take care and best always to you. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you for the comment too. Really good. And you kind of spurred me into saying, okay, no, I gotta get back on enemas for sure. I was just telling my wife that I gotta get back on it. It's just again, I just fell out of the habit of it, and once you kind of stop, it's like exercise. Once you stop, it's just kind of hard to do it and hard to find the time and all that other stuff. You can make enough excuses and roadblocks in your own head the reasons why not to do it. So interesting. And then my dad sent me a couple comments about the operational starvation stuff. And you're absolutely right. There definitely is a lot of work to do, and I think he mentioned it's kind of like the Peace Corps without the bureaucracy, that's for sure, and kind of laid out some of the roadblocks and complications that are going to be there. And one of the things that you said was that I really liked was the two-front approach. We can't just go out and teach people how to fish in countries where I was talking about the molding box, like dropping in something, teaching everything like that, and the point was well, if someone's starving over there, they don't care to learn. They'd rather just go and trade that for a bag of rice or something like that. And I agree. I think the way we need to do it is a two two prong approach. We need to supplement by feeding. So we do need to feed people. Give people fish, for lack of a better analogy, while we're teaching them how to fish. We need to solve the basic problem of giving people the food, and then teaching them how to fish. One of the concerns was a handout. Are people just going to ask for a handout and expect it to come every single time? And they may, absolutely. I mean, there's always going to there may be people. I'm not going to say there's always going to be people. I feel we can evolve as a human race, and I really look for the greatness in every single individual. That once we lend a hand to help someone stand up, we want to teach them to walk on their own, and I believe it in human nature to want to work on their own. People don't like getting handouts. I don't believe people want to be on, charity or on anyone else's coattails. I mean, really, I feel people want to be accomplished, and people want to grow to be their own individuals and be independent. I mean, it's kind of, I believe, one of the human needs. And I think if people are shown the way and given the path and given the nudge to start, and for me, the nudge is feeding first. Well, let's feed them the fish to get them going, and then teach them how to fish. So it will definitely be a process, and definitely I'm glad to have you on board. We're definitely going to need all the help we can get. It's gonna be a big thing, and some of the logistics that were brought up were getting people on the ground and stuff like that. But Operation No Starvation, where we're trying to pull back from all that stuff. There are tons of organizations in the world that already have people in the ground and have the distribution channels that already know what they're doing. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. What we want to do is the thing that everyone in the world, or all of these charities, or all of these communities are lacking is money. Always need money. Well, I know how to make money. It's not that hard to do. It's not hard at all to do. It's just you just gotta do it. So our plan is to really make the money, donate it all to, not donate, I don't want to say donate, because donate sounds like we're giving it away. I want to employ the money into the right organizations that can A, make the food, B, distribute the food, and then C, grow the organization into other things. In the future, we may eventually start taking on those responsibilities, but that's for another thing. The whole idea behind ONS and Operation No Starvation is really it's a social thing. It's not just about us. It's not just about me or our team or anything like that going out and physically doing everything, but it's our team coordinating it all and bringing all the groups together and really saying, okay, where is the most need? Where do we go? Who can do what? Let's get them doing what they do best. So, yeah, very good. Thanks, Dad, for comments. It really kind of makes me think and really kind of spin it out. So keep them coming for sure. Also been listening to MLK, Martin Luther King Jr. What an amazing dude. I never really understood the whole civil rights movement and everything like that, and I've been listening to him on Audible, and so he's amazing orator, smart, smart dude. Was a lawyer, was a pastor as well. Has all sorts of just a brilliant guy. So one of the big quotes that he said that I really like is, "Non-cooperation with evil is as much a moral obligation as cooperation is with good." So it kind of makes me think about our current system of non-cooperation with evil is as much a moral obligation as cooperation with good. And it's just it rings true to me, and everything, yeah, the whole plight, the whole everything that he did was amazing. He's a model for for nonviolence and for pushing love, and he's a model. He's a giant that whose shoulders I want to stand on to further the love agenda, and further the we don't need to live in fear as humans. We don't need to be afraid. We don't need to be violent. We don't need to do any of that stuff. Let's just, go the path of love and see where it takes us. And, in my mind, it'll take us to the next level. I truly want to unite and evolve the human race, and the only way to do that is through love. So, love, love, love. It's awesome. And I try and read my journal kind of back every week, and so I read this last week, and I think I was listening to some philosopher's notes, and on basically from my journal on 322, a couple things I wrote that kind of stuck out was, you do have a choice. You can make significant changes. All it takes is practice. And then I wrote, I have been blessed by cancer. It gave me perspective. Heartbreak. It freed me from conformity and showed me me. And getting kicked out of school. It gave me the freedom to grow. I really, I don't know. I've really enjoyed journaling. I've talked with a couple of people that have kind of started, and some people that really go do it well, and then other people that have ventured into it, wanted to do it. And I would say it's one of the most amazing things I've ever done. I mean, just my handwriting went from chicken scratch. I'll actually show you guys some of my original. So this is my original handwriting. You can see it's not the best thing in the world. And then I've come to this, which is my handwriting now. And I've actually been complimented on this a couple of times. I don't know if people were just, being nice, but it's really helped my handwriting, and then it really helps me get my thoughts out. And then when I go back and read them, it kind of is that reflecting period. I never really understood why to journal before, and I never really did it. I just always thought, oh, that's stupid. That's what the Mormons do, or that's what the religious people do. Because I was always taught, to do it in church and everything like that. But I really, really enjoyed journaling and kind of just getting my thoughts out. I do it every single day. And even, some days I don't have a lot to say and I just, write down a few things. I try and do gratitude every single time I do it. And, try and do, just some random thoughts, like this one, you do have a choice. You can make significant change. All it takes is practice. Just snippets I get from places. And, it's really good to go back and reflect and actually just kind of see where you were a week ago to where you are today. I've always asked the question at the end of these, are you closer to where you want to be now than you were yesterday or the day before or a week ago? And by actually journaling and going back, I can actually see it. And it's kind of like looking at the scoreboard and the highlights or whatever you want to call it, and actually looking back and saying, oh, that's where I was. Well, now I'm here. Awesome. I am closer to where I want to be. I am moving forward. Because if you don't do it, then you're just guessing. You're thinking, oh, today's better than it was yesterday, or I'm closer to where I want to be now than I was yesterday or a week ago. I'm pretty sure, but with journaling, it's actually like I can see what I was thinking that day. And there's some things in here that, like with with Isabel or with Paolo or with Kyle or a relationship or anything like that that I can read about that in my own handwriting and everything that I wrote and thought on that day, and then look at it now and have a whole different perspective on it and see how I've learned from that, and just that writing down's been awesome. So big fan of journaling. I think everyone should do it. It's an amazing thing. Yeah, beyond that, just kind of, yeah, that's kind of the day. I've been been kind of backing off of these videos because I just kind of hang out at home most of the days, and with the kids, and just kind of, it's been, I live a good life. I really enjoy it, and I hope that and it's not just because of, it's not just because of the situation I'm in. It's really like it's been a lot with the mentality of everything. I believe everyone out there can have just as great a life, if not greater than my life. And excuse me, I don't want to compare, but I don't believe that my life is any different than anyone else's. I don't believe anyone else's life or happiness is any greater or any worse than mine. I feel everyone can grow to their own pinnacle of happiness. All it is a mentality thing. You gotta just, it's all a choice. It all comes down to a choice, and it's all you internally. There's nothing outside of you that makes you either happy or sad. It's totally you. So I'll end this video with the question I always ask: are you closer to where you want to be now than you were yesterday, or 30 minutes ago, or a week ago, or a year ago? Who knows? And we're in March. The first quarter's almost over. You're closer now than you were to your year-end goals, to your beginning goals, than you were then. So I hope everyone's doing well. I love you all. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for tomorrow. Always excited and always enthusiastic, because why not? There's no other way to live. You guys all have a fantastic day. Peace out.